Lean in with Lisa, put her to the test. Lean in with Lisa, so get it off your chest. It's more than just a trend, cause everyone's her friend. So lean in with Lisa, spend your time with Lisa. Lisa's got something to say. So reach out to Lisa every day.
Hello, everybody. We've got a great show for you today. We have someone very special on. She is the producer of many Lifetime television movies that you've seen, such as Her Stolen Past, The Black Widow, Killer, The Wrong Bed, Naked Pursuit, Murder in Mexico. She is none other than Roma Roth.
So reach out to Lisa every day.
Roma Roth, you have been busy.
I have.
You have been a busy girl.
Yep.
And
that's kind of like a open.
You think I'm looking up to you, don't you? Because you think I want to be in your next movie. Is that why? Is that what you think?
Stopped giving me your headshots a while ago.
Right, because they started looking, a little bit old. But
No, you don't.
Do you think I'm sucking up to you right now? Because I do want to be in your next movie.
Yeah.
I was actually in one of your movies.
You were. You were in
Murder in Mexico.
Murder in Mexico. That's right. The Lifetime movie you played.
I want everyone to know that I had to audition for the role. You didn't give me the role.
Nope.
I auditioned with many people, against many people.
Yes, you did. And you were the best choice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Really? You think?
Yeah,
thank
I know.
You. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Mind you, I wasn't there for the audition. I just sent you there and said, do what you need to do to get the part. I don't know if you did, Dwayne.
Well, I got the part and it was amazing and it was fun. And thank God you weren't on the set when we shot because I would have been a nervous wreck.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know because you're my friend and I didn't want to disappoint you. So I'm glad you weren't there. But for the next movie, you could be there. It's okay.
All right. But you did.
Okay. What was like when you were little, did you know you wanted to do this? You wanted to be this big producer?
No, I wanted to be a veterinarian or an opera singer.
You never told me I know the veterinarian thing, but you didn't tell me anything about the opera singer.
Yeah.
Although you do have a nice, beautiful voice.
No, not enough to be an opera singer.
But do you want to sing something with me now?
No, I do not.
Okay, because if you decide to, we could just let me know. Think of a song and we can do it together.
Yeah, I think I'll skip it. But
okay, next show.
Nobody needs to be subjected to that. No, so I wanted to be first a veterinarian, then an opera singer, and then I wanted to be the next Jane Goodall. And I did actually pursue that, and I met Jane at a conference I'm not sure if it was in Toronto, I think it was, because as you know, I'm from Canada.
Yes, I do know that.
And I spoke to her, and she told me I needed to get some more experience working with primates. And so I did. I ended up getting a master's degree in anthropology and specifically in primatology. And I worked with chimpanzees for 4 years before I ended up getting into the film industry.
So you worked with chimpanzees. Mm-hmm. You have a master's in anthropology. How did that segue into the film industry? I have to know, like, what was the process of what get you like, okay, now I want to be a film producer. What?
Well, way back when we were going to school, they didn't have, they had those tests you could take that would tell you what you were going to be good at. And it was like a bubble test. I don't know if you guys took them in the States.
Yeah, I remember those. I don't want to tell you what they told me I'd be good at. Is there a poll anywhere? Okay, go ahead.
And so it had said I was going to be a private investigator, which I think is hysterical. But anyway,
but your movies are about that.
More or less, I suppose. But they didn't have film or television or producers. I don't even know what that was. So I ended up, I moved from London, Ontario, where I was doing my undergrad, to Calgary, Alberta. And when I was there, I was doing a master's in anthropology, and they had just invented the Handycam, which was about, yay
I know, big. I remember that.
Huge. Yeah. That little, not like an iPhone, right? So when they did that, I had thought that instead of collecting my data with paper and pen and doing
bigger than this, right?
Oh, much bigger than that. Yeah, much bigger.
Like 5 times the size.
Bigger than that,
yeah.
And so I wanted to collect my data on video because I figured it was something that other people could watch, and then corroborate whether or not my observations were correct. So I convinced the department to allow me to videotape and to collect my data. That way, they still wanted me to do the paper and pen method, which is kind of archaic. So I did that. And then I produced a documentary from the footage that I acquired while I was working with the chimps. And I produced a documentary called The Uncommon Chimpanzee, which ended up being distributed in pretty well across the globe in all the educational facilities and libraries. And
That's
while that was
phenomenal.
happening, I joined the Calgary Society for Independent Filmmakers in order to kind of understand the film industry a bit more. And Lonesome Dove, the series, had posted a
I
job
remember that.
for the assistant to the producer, to the executive producer, or actually it was the producer, Anna Viverka, and I ended up getting the job. And that was kind of my first foray into the film industry. I knew nothing. I didn't last very long in the job because I didn't really know much about. Well, I didn't know what a call sheet was or a production report. I knew nothing
So
about
you're basically saying that you were able to work on this show without having any kind of film background. You didn't have to go to school for
zero,
film.
zero. I just
You
had
didn't
the
have to
chutzpah.
study. You
Nope,
had the chutzpah.
had
You
the
wanted
chutzpah.
the chutzpah. For all of you that don't know what chutzpah means having very big balls.
Well, sort of. But I think it means having. Yeah, I suppose cojones. Yeah, chutzpah. It's not. It doesn't actually mean balls.
Or lots of
Nerve. Yeah,
nerve enough to be able to go after something you really want
like
and not
cojones.
stop.
Yeah,
Cojones. All right, I'll
yeah,
say
yeah.
cojones. This is a family show. Anyway, so you had the cojones and you went after it and you did Lonesome Dove. And then after Lonesome Dove, you started getting more and more offers.
I just started working in production, and then that was behind the scenes, and then I ended up going on to set and working my way up from a locations PA, where you get to wear that bright orange vest and direct traffic and pick up trash.
Yes, I
Um,
do remember that.
Remind me to tell you a funny story about that. But and then I worked my way up to second assistant director, and then I came out to LA because I knew that, or at least I felt that I needed to come into LA to kind of figure out how things went
This is where it's
here.
all happening,
Yeah,
right?
and then eventually get back to Canada and help. But once I got here, I realized that nobody wanted me to come back because you're much more. They see you as being a little bit more valuable here than competing with a smaller pool of
But you
producers.
do all your stuff. Most of your projects are done in Canada.
I think every single project I've ever done, other than one, which is the one that you worked on,
Murder in Mexico, because
right?
we shot that in Santa Monica.
Yep, yep. So it was done in Canada, and I'm a very loyal Canadian. You know, I'm very appreciative of all the government subsidies that they have there to help incentivize people to come to Canada, and I like
Yes, and if it
people.
was only easy enough to get Canadian papers, because I would be in all of your movies if I
There you go.
had them.
Well, you'd have to audition,
I know, no,
earn
I
it,
know. No,
right?
we've got to do it the right way.
Yeah. Well, I
Got
don't
to
think it
do it.
wouldn't be good for you if I just gave you everything because then
No, I don't want you giving me anything except beautiful bracelets.
yes.
Um, but you have this hit show, Virgin River. Okay,
Mhm.
hit Netflix show. It's gone through the roof. I mean, it reached number one in the Nielsen ratings against all of the other streaming shows. It beat out Dethroned.
It
It
did.
beat out The Crown,
Uh-huh.
and it beat out Queen's Gambit. Okay, I'm curious to know,
For a
first
short
of all.
period of time, not like, I want to make sure that we
Okay,
are
well,
accurate. But at least for November and December, I think it was of 2020.
which is amazing because I
Yeah.
mean, we're talking about these are amazing shows.
Oh, absolutely. And
I
they
mean,
had
they're just beautifully
a significantly
done.
larger budget than we had, but and they're epic. Those are kind of like more epic
Oh, incredible. But
projects.
I'm curious to know though, how did you come up with the idea? Like, how did you, what made you want to do the series? And,
Well, I'd been doing a lot of television movies, so for Lifetime and Hallmark and I think Sci-Fi Channel also. And I wanted to get into series, and so I knew that it was going to be after having been involved in over 78 television movies to make a transition to series. You kind of get pigeonholed into what you had been working on. So I thought that the best way for me to make that transition was to find intellectual property that had a big fan base and fan following. And I also had noticed that there was a trend in the world where, and this is way before COVID, probably three years before COVID, if not longer. I just felt like things were getting back a little bit to the 80s, not with regards to the, soapiness of the show,
Mm-hmm.
the emotional connectivity. Our world had become so dark with just reading the newspapers, and between the gun violence and the all sorts of horrible things that you're reading on a daily
Lots of
basis.
lots of tragic situations out
Yeah, I
there.
mean, and fires and disasters and catastrophes. Anyway, so I felt like we needed a little bit of lightness.
It is. It's
Um,
much lighter than a lot of these other shows that are on, and it kind of lifts you up. It gives you kind of that feeling that we used to get back in the 80s when you're thinking when let's think of a show. Like I remember there was a show called Family with I think Christy McNichol and I th- who was it? Vince Van Patten? Was that I think that was
was that the
Family.
80s though? There
That was
was
it. But that might have been the
Providence.
70s. That might
There
have
was
been the
Providence. There was,
Providence.
remember
Yes.
Providence?
Yes.
And there was Dawson's Creek,
Dawson's Creek.
Melrose Place. I mean, not Melrose Place, 90210. I mean, most of the Aryan spelling shows
Knots
are things like
Landing.
that.
Yes, yes.
You
I
know,
love Knots Landing. That was a big,
so
huge
that
Knots
that was
Landing
more
fan.
of a epic kind of, catfighty drama thing, wasn't it? Not
Yeah,
as
yeah. It was a little
opposed
more of
to
a soap. It was more soap.
aspirational.
It was more
Yeah,
soapy. I mean, Virgin River, first of all, it's absolutely beautifully shot. This I love just watching all the different, locations where where you shoot and you're working with one of my favorite of all time. He was my crush.
Tim Matheson.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a doll.
I mean, since Animal House, he has been my crush. What's he like?
He's amazing. He really is. He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and he's also directing on the show, and he does an incredible job with that as well. He's just one of those. You don't feel like you're talking to Tim Matheson. He's
You
he's just
think he's just
a
regular
down to
guy?
earth, very nice guy. Yeah, really nice guy.
Well, that's great. So you could invite him to lunch next time we go. Um, and I wanted to know you're a workaholic. I mean, we travel together a lot. We go on vacations together. We spend a lot of time together. I can't get a word. I mean, you're always on either on the phone making deals or you're reading books at the pool. I mean, am I that boring that you're not, it's either you are constant. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I don't
Roma,
have any hobbies.
Look at that, look at the scenery, Roma. Roma, let's walk in. We were in New Orleans and I said, let's go into that boutique and you're on your phone. Doesn't it get like, I mean, I
Well, I
guess
love
that's
what I
what
do. I really love what I do, and I don't see it. I think if everybody could be as lucky as me to do what they love for a living, it's not work. I mean, of course, there's a lot of drama and stress that comes along once you get a production up and running, but that the creative part I love, and the deal making is a real addiction for me.
I could see that.
Yeah, but
It
back,
is.
I wanted to answer your question. So with Robin Carr, and she when I came across, I was looking for a book series that
Hmm.
would kind of embody everything that we just talked about and kind of add lightness into people's lives. And she's this author who has an incredible fan following. It's like 27 million copies of her book sold, and now I think since Virgin River came out, those book sales are up 600% across the globe.
That's
So she has
amazing.
a huge fan following. And there was actually, speaking of master's degrees, there was a master's thesis that was written on her books and her popularity. So that was why I ended up, I didn't know much of that when I was looking for the material, but when I read her books, I felt that instant connection. And she really does this wonderful world building with characters, and you can really get into the characters and
And you
identify
like
with
the
them.
characters. You care about the
They're likable.
characters.
Yeah, all of them. I mean, and all of them are flawed, but all of them are
Yes.
likable.
Yes, and they're all likable, yes,
Mhm.
and, I know that you had mentioned something, I'm not sure if you wanna talk about it, but I know there's something else that you have coming up.
Well, I have a couple of different projects that we're working on, so nothing is green lit yet, but we are in the process of setting up a show with Felicia Rashad. Speaking of the 80s,
Oh, I love Felicia. Felicia's great. Oh yes, I do. She's is it I think her sister Debbie Allen?
yes, she is.
Oh,
Yeah,
they are
yeah.
sisters. And
And
you have a sister.
I do. I have an identical twin
You're a
sister.
twin.
I am. I'm a twin sister, twin.
What's that
And
like? What is that like being a twin?
well, it's a lot. It doesn't feel like I'm a twin now because she lives in Canada and I live in the States. So other than when I'm at the film markets and people come up and give me a kiss that I don't know.
See, the funny
It's
thing
really
is
odd.
I am the only person that can tell you apart. Can your
Come
kids tell
on.
you apart?
Yeah, of course. Well, yes, although there is the one funny story when my son Ben was, I can't remember, he was like 18 months and I was gone with Chris on a trip and I came home and my sister was holding him and he was very happy. And then he looked over and he saw me and just the look on his face, because I don't think he had put two and two together that she wasn't me when she was looking after him. So
Wait.
he started crying.
Well,
Got it.
oh, I love your sister. I think she's great, and I think you're both very different. I mean, I think you're great too. Don't get me wrong.
No, I
I,
see
I love you
that.
both. I love you both in this. I love you both in different ways.
Good.
But you and I are definitely we were definitely meant to be.
You're like my
So
LA twin.
I am your LA twin.
Yeah.
That's a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, you are my LA twin.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
I think so.
nice.
I think
That's
we're a
so.
lot alike.
I think we are alike, but yeah, maybe that's why I just fell in love with you when we met at Dan Tana's. That was the first time we met.
Yep.
And I remember one of my acrylic nails fell off that day and I was so nervous that you were going to notice. Did you notice?
No, I didn't, nor would I
Oh,
have cared. I don't think I certainly wouldn't have
thank
been,
God. Oh my God,
yeah,
thank
judging you
God.
for a
Okay.
broken nail.
Well, I by the way, we have someone that's waiting in the wings, my writer, Adam Labarkin. Adam, can you come in? You want to come in the room?
Knock knock.
Hey,
Hey.
there he is. Oh,
Hi.
you dressed for the occasion. Very nice, Adam. I wanted to know if you want to play. Oh, Roma, do you want to play a game? We're going to play a
Yeah,
game.
sure.
Okay,
Why not?
it's a game. What game are we
The,
playing?
the game is 5 questions she's never been asked. Because if someone probably done a bunch of interviews, you get bored answering the same old questions like, "What's it like being a twin?" For example.
No, nobody's asked me that.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, that's one already. But we've had we have some
It's
questions.
not
We try and
funny.
came up with some questions to see if you've never been asked them, and if you have, you could just let us know. So there's no right answers, just kind of opinion questions that hopefully you've never been asked in an interview. So here's one: will J Lo ever find true love?
I assume she will. Everybody finds true love.
Oh, okay. She's had a rough go of it, but okay, that's good, optimistic view.
She knows what not to look for
I
now.
don't think she will. I
She,
disagree. I don't think she'll ever find love.
oh, that's not very optimistic of you, Lisa.
I'm sorry, but she's been with some amazing guys, and nothing has she's. I just think some people
That's
were
okay.
not
I
meant
think you're
to.
gonna have to edit that part out.
Okay, we'll edit that because J Lo. I think is she our neighbor? I think
She
she's our
should
neighbor.
be able to find love, right? Because her love doesn't cost anything. That's
Love
what she
don't
said.
cost a thing. Her love don't
So-
cost a thing.
Someone needs to give J Lo the proper love she deserves.
I think the power of positive, thinking, right? It's gotta be hard when you have that kind of money to find true love.
And that kind of talent too. I mean, she's
Yeah.
always busy. She's always doing shows. She's always traveling. She's always on the road.
I mean, if I'm only probably 1/100th of a percent as busy as her, and it's hard to juggle everything I've got.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Thank you, Alan. That was I like what you had to say there. Also, I cut you off when you were telling me. Just tell me what you're doing with Felicia Rashad before Adam asks you the next question.
Oh, okay. Well, we optioned a book series by Emily March. It's a 14 ongoing book series called Eternity Springs. So it's a drama where she plays the lead, and I can't tell you too much, but we're working on developing the pitch together based on the book series, and
Well, good luck.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
That should be fun.
It's a little bit of a divergent from what I'm doing with Virgin River. It's also got that kind of aspirational kind of quality to it, but it has a little bit more gravitas, I think, as to what's going on socially in the world today.
Oh, good. Oh, good. That's going to be great. I can't wait. Adam, next
Okay.
question.
All right. Now, again, stop me if you've been asked this before, but if you were forced to adopt a mutt from the pound and you only had two choices, would you take the Doberman Pug or the St. Bernard Schnauzer?
I think the St. Bernard Schnauzer. I don't even know what that would look like.
It's all theoretical.
Is there really a St. Bernard
You know what?
Schnauzer?
Actually, strike that. I'll take them both.
Really?
Oh,
Well, she likes animals. She is. We learned that stuff we didn't know.
First of all, she has the cutest dogs you've ever seen in your life. Mookie and Teddy are just beyond adorable. They have these soulful eyes that you just fall in love with them. And you saved a bird's life.
I did. I saved a hummingbird. Was it just a few weeks ago? Right?
Yeah, she was every post of hers was about this little hummingbird, and it was like this little story that should be a movie.
Yeah, well, it was on my iPhone. But
and you saved the hummingbird, and the hummingbird
he flew away, and he comes back to visit me now.
And he visits you.
Yeah.
He visits her.
Yeah, it's
How
very
cute
lovely.
is that a beautiful story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Adam. Next question.
Yeah, Adam's not an animal lover. Okay, we learned that about him today.
Adam hates birds.
I have a nest right next to me in our thing right now. So
Bird in hand.
And I didn't knock him. I didn't knock it down yet. So that's pretty good.
Don't you dare.
Here's a question. You're a producer. Could you produce a serious drama that takes place in a town named Sheboygan?
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Because the town's named Sheboygan, and you can't say that without sounding silly. That's why.
There is a Sheboygan.
I know there's a Sheboygan.
My friend's mom was born in Sheboygan.
I didn't make up the town. I understand. It's a real
I thought you made it up.
First of all,
I thought you made it up. I wouldn't want
to insult anybody who's from Sheboygan.
I'm not saying insult. I'm saying that you can't have that name and take it seriously.
Okay, wait.
It's hard.
Virgin River.
Okay, that has illusion. No, it's a good title. It's an intriguing title. But you throw Sheboygan in there, and it's a comedy. You can't. But maybe
she'll write a comedy. Maybe that
at that point.
I'm just.
Right? It becomes Schitt's Creek. That's a title. I'm not swearing.
That's true. That's also a comedy. Can you do that as a serious drama? You cannot.
I bet you could. I bet you could do Schitt's Creek as you would just, it would
be very dark.
Very often.
Right.
Well, not now. You can't after what they've done. So, all right. Here's a quick one. Who's your favorite Reynolds, Ryan or Bert?
Well, Ryan's closer to my age, and he's from London, Ontario, so that's where I was born. So
I agree on that one.
Reynolds.
Wow. Okay. Good. All right. One more question you've never been asked. Hopefully, what would be more embarrassing, catering a fundraiser with plasticware, or missing the $100 question on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Well, I'm pretty sure that would be the second one. And by the way, I've already hosted a fundraiser with plasticware, so I do not find that. But it was biodegradable plasticware. Just
Good.
to say, yeah.
All right. Did you know about that? Did you know that, Adam? She did a fundraiser with plasticware.
No, I did not. I know she's, she hosts fancy parties, so I didn't know she would, do it with plasticware. But it's good to know. What is that?
How did you get the name Roma? Thank you, Adam. Those were great questions.
Thanks. There's some others that she may have been asked, but all right. I'll see you soon.
Okay. That's my writer, Adam Labarkin. So you have an Italian name.
I do.
And your sister has an Italian name.
Is Rosanna Italian?
I think it is. Don't you?
I don't know.
It sounds Italian.
Okay.
Where did the Italian come from?
It didn't. My father was from Romania, and apparently, as legend has it, he was in love with a Roma gypsy at one point in time. So, and my sister was named after.
How could I never have
Rosanna and the Seven Veils or something? I think.
I've never asked you that. I'm so glad I never asked you that question because.
But I like people thinking I'm Italian because it makes it easy when I'm talking to Italian people,
especially being in Italy.
Reservation at an Italian restaurant with a name like Roma, you get right in.
Absolutely. So you're cooking. I know you've been cooking a lot.
Yes, I have. I'm not a huge baker, but I do love cooking.
You are an amazing cook. I think one of my favorite things that you've cooked for me is your chicken. I call it paprikash, but it's not paprikash. It's
I do make.
schnitzel. Is it
Oh, I make
schnitzel?
chicken schnitzel. I make chicken
Schnitzel,
paprikash,
schnitzel. Okay.
and I make Anya's chicken, which you like too, which is that kind of like it's almost like a pancake, but it's got chicken and egg in it. Remember?
Okay. What did you make the
Yeah,
night you came over? You came over a few
schnitzel.
weeks ago and you made, oh my God, I was eating that for a
Schnitzel.
week.
I mean, that's just like breaded chicken that's fried.
That's all it is?
That's not. Yeah,
No,
the
but there's
chicken
something
paprikash
in
takes
it,
longer.
but
Hmm?
you put the seasoning in it. That's like, I don't
Yeah,
know what
it's
you,
called Parmesan cheese
oh, I'll
and
remember
salt.
that when I make it next
Yeah,
time.
it's
Okay.
just all you do is you take your breadcrumbs and your flour, and then you've got and I mix with my breadcrumbs Parmesan cheese when I'm doing it.
Because I tried making it and it was missing that part. It was missing the
Parmesan cheese.
Parmesan.
Yeah, a lot of
Yes.
the
Because
powdered
that's,
the craft powdered one that goes in. You could use real, but it's
oh,
better
you
to
use the
have that
craft,
this stuff in
use
the
the
yeah,
cheap
in
stuff. Okay.
the cheap stuff.
Okay.
It's not cheap. They charge you a lot for that bottled stuff.
Well, it's a couple
It's just
dollars.
it's not gourmet, I think is
Well,
what
if you go to Trader Joe's, it's like what, $2, 2.50 or something.
I don't know.
As long as you don't go to like Erewhon down. Do you ever go to Erewhon? Well, I think the food is great. Like they have prepared food. So sometimes if it gets late and I don't want to cook, I'll go over
At
there and
like
I'll,
90% of the time? You don't cook.
no, stop it. I have to tell you, ever since I remodeled my kitchen, I have been cooking at least 3 to 4 nights a week. Well,
Oh,
maybe,
wonderful.
maybe two.
Oh, okay.
Well, three,
Where's
maybe
Rick?
three,
Is he popping
three.
in here to corroborate
You've
that?
tasted my cooking.
I like your cooking.
Is my cooking that bad?
No, but you don't do it very often from
But
not
you don't live with me.
true. Well, invite me over more for
Well,
dinner.
would you come if I invited you?
I would.
And you would eat my
You
chicken
live,
paillard
you live like 2 minutes from my
and
house.
my chicken parmesan? You would have. Oh, I made that the other night for my husband, for Rick. I made the chicken parmesan. It took me like 10 minutes. He said it was like one of the best he's ever had.
Oh, wonderful.
Could I make that for you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
I
When you
can corroborate too, Roma, because
You've
the
never
other day we had to record a thing late because Lisa was making pizza and watching Grey's Anatomy. So
Oh, she was making pizza, not
she
ordering
made
pizza.
I
Wonderful.
made it.
pizza.
Well, actually, Ella was making it. My daughter was making
Oh,
it with your daughter
oh, did
on
they
Zoom.
film? Nice. Oh, wonderful. I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, they were doing it together on Zoom
On Zoom
for
or
their
on
class.
TikTok?
No,
Oh,
they were
okay.
doing
For the class.
they did it on Zoom for their class, and Ella
Nice.
did most of it. I ate it, but I did assist a little bit. So yes, I did. I have to say that I take very little credit for that pizza, but thank you, Alan. Okay. Your mom. You're a
Love it.
wife.
Oh, I'm a mom. I thought you said my mom.
No, you're a
I'm a mom.
mom.
Yeah.
No, you're a mom. I like your mom. Say hi to her. You're a mom, you're a wife, you're a producer, how do you manage your time? How are you able to be all of those things as
Well,
busy as you are?
yeah. I
Because
mean, I
you are
think
so busy.
it's really hard, I think, for working moms, and I don't think people really appreciate how much we have to give up, to be able to do, and because you never feel like you're not doing your best at anything because you've got so many things that are important. And from the career to the kids to the husband, and making sure that you're not one of those statistics that doesn't have one. But I think, a lot of it is I found when I found my husband, Chris, I found my perfect partner. And he inspires me, and he's my rock, and he does a lot that he doesn't get credit for, like a lot. And
Chris, I think you're going to be getting a little action tonight.
so,
Little
yeah, it's a big shout out to Chris, because no, seriously,
Chris is amazing.
I don't
He's
think I could have done anything remotely to the level that I have without having that family
the
base
partnership that you
and the
have.
partnership that I have with him. And he's also my business partner and my life partner. And he's what makes me able to rise
Wake
to
up
the
every
challenge,
morning.
and yeah, and I do have great kids that are very independent. I was around. I remember when I first had when I first had Ben, I was typing with my feet on the computer while I was nursing him because I wanted to make sure that I was still working. And even when they were wheeling me in, I had a C-section. They were mandatory C-sections both times. But with my son, especially, I remember I was like closing a deal right while they were wheeling me in for surgery. They told me that, hey, ma'am, you need to put your phone away now. And I was just like, just another
Now that would have been great to have on camera.
second.
That
But
would
I
have been the
think,
beginning of a.
I don't have a big social life, I think, because other than, I get to hang out with you sometimes. But, I'm not around that much because I'm working all the time. Like you mentioned, when we were in, where were we again?
We're in New Orleans.
New Orleans. Yeah.
Nola,
Nola.
New Orleans.
Yeah. But, I just, I think it's difficult. It's been difficult, but as the kids got older, they don't need me quite as much. And I'm able to kind of, I remember, wait, actually, I got a
But you
funny
go to
story.
all the plays. I mean, all the plays our kids did together.
I flew
It's
back from
amazing that
Northern
you were
Ontario.
there in the first row with your camera
Yeah,
and
smaller one
every
this time.
single show. I don't think you missed. Have you ever missed a
No,
show?
what one? I think I missed one show and never heard the end of it. But remember that performance, the choir performance. I think it was Ben's class, and they were at I forgot now where it
Out
was,
in,
somewhere in the valley, but it was
yes,
with
I
an
remember that.
older, like senior
The
choir.
older, yes. Don't
I
worry, you didn't.
flew in. I was
Yes,
traveling for like a day and a half, I think it was, or 2 days to get to that.
it was at
And
the
I was
Thousand Oaks
filming in,
Civic. I remember that.
yeah,
Yes.
I was filming in Northern Ontario, and and you have to take 2 planes overnight in Toronto and then make it all the way there. And I don't think I had any sleep, and I made it for that. And then I was like, really? I came home for this? Do you remember?
I have to say, I wasn't at that show, but my daughter was in the show the following year. And I remember you telling me the story that you busted your ass to get there and then said, Oi,
They only sang like
yes,
2 songs
yes. And
with them.
I
It was
sat,
lovely. It was a lovely performance. It's not that I'm poo-pooing the
yeah, no,
performance.
no, it was a
They were on
beautiful,
for like 1
it
song.
was beautiful, but I did whisper into my husband's ear saying, 2 songs?
Yeah.
They did 2 songs and
I
we're
think
sitting,
it was 2, 1 or
I mean,
2.
it was like a 3-hour night. We were sitting there for
Well, and
3
we had to
hours,
sit and watch not that
and
I
the kids
yeah,
had to sit there on the side
quietly,
waiting,
yeah,
right?
for their turn.
Quietly yawning. Yeah.
For their turn. But anyway, so,
So,
no, I've made an effort, although it's not like, I think when I was working on season 1 of Virgin River, I was gone for almost an entire year. I was coming back as frequently as I could, but I really
I remember
wasn't.
that.
Yeah, I wasn't coming that. So, it broke my heart because my kids said something to the effect of like, "Yeah, you were never here when we were growing up." But that is because they only remember like what happened yesterday, right? They're not like us
Mhm.
who are like reminiscing. So I had to like
And
literally
that's why
pull open
and
all the
that's why
pictures.
you're wearing that brand new pair of Nikes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
That's funny.
why
You got
you were
that
able to go and get
Oculus,
your
the new Oculus for Christmas.
there you go. There you go. Mom is working hard.
Yeah.
Mom is working hard. You are the
But
hardest worker I know.
the good thing is that we've had, and I have to give a shout out to Maya, who you know very well, who used to be our au pair, and we've adopted her, and she lives with us. So, it takes a village. And I think
Mhm.
that as long as you have created that village for yourself, that you're able to do what you want to do. Otherwise, I don't think I would be able to do what I do. And actually, I'm very happy that I can make shows like Virgin River because it's programming I can watch with my kids. Whereas before the Lifetime thrillers, I think my daughter who played in Taken Back Finding Haley, which was my first Lifetime movie, and she was abducted. Like I needed a
Oh, yes,
three-year-old
I
to be
remember
abducted.
that.
She still has
Yes,
nightmares about being abducted now.
poor kid.
Yeah.
Look what you've done to your daughter.
Yeah, she's gonna have years of therapy, but
I think she'll be fine. She's an
fine.
amazing kid. I
She's
think she'll
fine.
be okay.
She's fine.
Um,
She's a strong
so I
girl.
got a couple of these questions here that isn't she? Adam, you didn't know anything about Roma, and
I
like
knew a little bit.
you met her
We've passed.
small
We're
talk,
acquainted
small talk. Yeah,
at temple and
I know
other
you.
events. Yeah,
yeah. A couple of
she knows.
little
She
birthday
recognizes me.
dinners.
Yeah,
She
You
would
sat next to
vaguely
each
recognize
other.
me if we passed in the street and then keep going.
I
But
think a little more than that.
uh, your hair is naturally curly.
It
Who's
is.
your favorite stooge?
You're expecting me to say curly, but he has no hair, right?
Well, no, I'm just saying what stooge do you like first. Yeah, I took you one way, and then
I think curly because it wasn't he like the funniest, the most funny. Is
a
that
lot
he?
of people say that. I mean, I kind of
I
like
like
Larry. He seemed like
He's good
at
too.
least he tried to be smart. I mean, none of them were, but he actually had some theories. He could
Right.
he would explain some things, and
I
it
happen
was
to
just
like
even
Mo.
funnier.
Mo is my favorite.
But
Yeah.
wasn't Mo the mean one? Because he
Well,
He
didn't.
would always poke everybody in the.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what I want to do to half the people I meet.
yeah,
So
I mean, he was provoked because the other
Yeah.
people were stupid. Not that he was really he was a little bit smarter, but
I don't think we can say stupid anymore.
right.
you're not allowed to say a lot of things anymore. You're not.
No.
You have to be.
My,
We have to be very careful.
yeah, my daughter is part of the woke police. So watch out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
As
My-
I said that, a sparrow just smashed itself into my
Oh no. Oh well. Time to
Nope, she
save
got to go
another
save
bird.
it. I know.
Yeah.
The fastest way to a man's heart is through his stomach. What's the fastest way from Calabasas to Santa Monica?
Oh, you're
Oh,
asking
don't.
someone who's directionally.
You cannot ask
traveling.
her
You
that.
can't ask me that. I still drive
Shit,
with
I
my
will.
GPS.
My
There is no fast way from Roma to get from Calabasas
Roma.
to Santa Monica unless I'm on the phone with my husband.
She
That's what we're
has
learning.
the worst sense of direct. We drove from, I think, Agora back to Calabasas, and we almost ended up in San Diego. I mean,
Well, first of all, I can't see in
she
the
can't
dark.
see
So
a damn thing.
in the dark.
I'm
Not,
like,
I
can
can
I
see
take
during
the
the
wheel,
day.
please? I mean, this was. So don't even ask her about anything
No,
having
but I
to
have
do
no
with
sense of
directions
direction. I
because
really don't.
let's nix it.
Um,
I mean,
That's the answer.
I can do a lot of things, but directions not one of them.
That's what we learned. Well, I didn't know that you were from Canada. I knew that you produced a lot of your shows in Canada, but now you're even from Canada. So let me ask you, ask the audience, our millions of listeners, what's your favorite syrup?
Maple.
Just maple. You don't have a preferred brand?
Real maple syrup, no, but
Oh,
it just has to be real maple syrup, and
really?
preferably from Quebec. When they just put it into the nail in
The
the tree.
tree, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
and
I
the,
want
and the
fresh
spigot, and
maple
it
syrup.
just comes out. Okay. I always saw that it seems like a cartoon thing. I didn't know that really works, but
No, it does. Yeah.
okay. No, a lot of people don't know. I've been there like once, barely to Niagara Falls, but so no, that answers all my questions. I'm gonna sign off, but it was great, great
okay,
having you.
Adam
Great being here.
LaBarkin.
All right,
Thanks,
I'll see you
Adam.
soon.
You're the best.
Thanks, Lise. Bye.
So you
Bye.
had your childhood. What was it like?
Well, that's a very huge question, but I had a happy childhood. I have a great family. My mom was born in Israel. My father was from Eastern Europe, and myself and my siblings are first generation Canadians. So that was challenging. I think we didn't have the money to get the Mac jeans that everybody had or the Jordache jeans that everybody wanted, and so I had the off-label, clothes.
So you had like the generic brand.
Yeah, I also didn't speak English for the first 6 years of my life.
You didn't speak English?
German is my first language.
Are you
You didn't know
serious?
that about me?
Are you
Yeah.
kidding? You
No,
never told me this.
No, that's why I have trouble sometimes because I really take things literally. Like and I'm very direct
You're
because
so
that's
eloquent. You
very
speak so
German.
beautiful.
Well, I mean,
I
I'm
never
53 now, so I hope I learn English in between 5
no, but I made
53.
you don't even have it, not even the slightest accent.
Well, I mean, you stop. But anyway, so what happened was I went to
Could you say something in German right now?
Ich weiß nicht.
What does
That
that
means
mean?
I don't know.
That was beautiful. I mean, you said it beautifully, even though I have no idea what you said. But
Yeah, no, but I even dreamt exclusively in German until I was probably in my teens, and then switched over. My parents spoke German in the house; that was their common language because my mom was
were
her
they
parents were
Holocaust
from
Were they
Germany.
both Holocaust survivors?
Well, my grandfather actually fled, but he kept getting stopped at the border. So this is my mother's father. So when he made a vow to God that if he let him the next time he crossed, if he tried to cross, if he from Germany, um, if he allowed him to make it, because obviously it was right during the war, he would become a devout Jew, and he did. He became an Orthodox Jew. He made it. He made it to Israel, and he became an Orthodox Jew. So
Whoa.
yeah, he kept his word and his promise, and then he met my mom's mom, I believe, in Israel because they both had fled Germany. They weren't together when they had fled. And then my father left Romania and he had to leave everything because it was a communist country. So they took away his Romanian status and made him uh, renounce his Romanian status. And my father had Parkinson's, as you may or may not know.
I didn't
And
know that either.
when my dad was at the kind of twilight of his life with the Parkinson's, I actually reached back out to the Romanian consulate in Canada, and I explained what had happened to him. And I told him that I would be really nice if they could give him his status as a Romanian back. And I was able, after 2 years or 3 years of doing all sorts of things that you have to do, the paperwork is just crazy. I was able to get him, the Romanian consul general came to the nursing home where my dad was and apologized and gave him back his Romanian status. So his citizenship.
Wow, that's a movie. That's
That's
I could just see
yeah.
that
It's beautiful.
on the big screen. That's a beautiful story.
So when I'm not like moving mountains, trying to get shows done. In between there, I'm doing things like that take 2 to 3 years to finish and get.
Putting
But
together
I thought it was something that was worth doing before he passed away. And although originally he was very against it because he was so hurt by having to have denounced his citizenship in the first place and have that taken from him. But then, of course, he cried and was super happy, when he got it back. So it was nice. It was very
that would be a nice
rewarding.
thing to do. Maybe even your first feature film about that.
I don't know. I'm going to watch that, but I don't think I can sell that.
I think why not? Look at all these movies that have been made about, during that time.
I think that growing, because you asked me how it was, and because you're an identical twin, and at that time they didn't have, they weren't doing fertility treatment, so we were the only, for miles, the only identical twins. People didn't see them, and my mom dressed us the same, so we were stared at. It came in
very,
handy.
very rare.
We could use it to our advantage. A lot of times it made us stand out, and it was kind of like we were the spectacle.
You felt odd.
Felt like I was like a freak at the circus a little bit occasionally, because people would, stare and point, and so that was part of it. And then because we were Jewish and the town we grew up in didn't have a lot of Jewish people, we were spit on, and there was a lot of anti-Semitism in my high school from the other students, from the teachers.
From the teachers?
From the teachers, yeah.
So the teachers were...
One particular teacher who, was horrible and would do things like, it was winter, so we would have our scarves and mittens, and if you left them there, they would go into the box, right? But she knew they were ours, so she would say, "Who wants some Jewish mittens?" and things like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, she was terrible.
Oh, well.
We complain about her, but back then, speaking of woke police, there wasn't any. Nobody was awake, and they could do whatever they wanted. So it was pretty bad. And but I think, at the end of the day, not to say woe's me, it makes you stronger. All those things make you stronger.
Yeah, it does.
You are today. And it also makes you, I think I'm a very, what's the word?
Resilient?
Well, resilient, but I'm not judgmental. I'm a very, not easygoing. I'm not easygoing because you can't be easygoing to be a producer, that's for sure. But accepting human being who loves all people.
No, you are accepting.
Sizes, colors, doesn't matter to me.
No. I mean,
sexual preference doesn't matter to me.
And as I agree with you, it shouldn't matter. And I think that's one of the reasons why you and I have a good connection, because we both agree on that. We're on the same page when it comes to that.
We're just picky when it comes to our food and service.
Well, that's a whole other thing. You don't want to go to dinner with us,
no.
Although we will get a free dinner. Well, I can't wait to see your next project, and I can't wait to see you. We haven't seen each other. It's been a little while because you've been
busy.
Busy,
yeah, decorating.
But I think it's worth the wait. And I thank you so much for being with me on my podcast. What do you think about my podcast?
I think it's great. I think that you have a knack for interviewing.
Are you proud of me?
I'm very proud of you, really proud of you. And I wouldn't come on otherwise.
Thank you.
Like you had posted, remember you did that one when you were younger where you were wearing flippers and a scuba.
Yeah, so I interviewed Sam Raimi.
Yeah,
The
and
director, Sam Raimi.
I remember watching that and thinking, wow. I mean, you have a beautiful voice for the radio and podcast. You also have a beautiful um, face and gorgeous hair that I
Oh,
would kill for.
oh, thank
For
you.
on a podcast, and
Oh,
yeah.
keep
So I think
talking.
that
Could
you
we
and
go another hour?
yeah. And by the way, I mean, you're the one that all the guys flocked to. Remember when we went for your movie?
What?
Well, I remember I have footage of you
Tell
when we
me.
went for
Remind me.
your bachelorette party, and we went to that
Oh,
uh,
yes.
Chip and Dale show, right? And that I have
Yes.
pictures of that gorgeous guy sitting on your lap.
You remember that? You
I
took me
do.
to a male strip club, very upscale male
Well,
strip
it's
club.
upscale. It was Chip and Dale's. That's
We
not
took a limo.
nothing to
Wait, I
sneeze
have a
at.
picture. Wait a second. I
Do
think I
you?
have a picture of us in the limo. Hold on a minute.
And there
I
was just
have a
there was a
picture.
bunch of
Here's a picture of us. Wait a minute. Okay. There we are. You
oh
and
that way.
me.
Well, you got to hold it up
Can
higher.
you, Alan, can you see it?
There you are. That's us in the limo. Yeah.
There we
Yep,
are.
we see
Got a
it.
little crown
Rome
on.
and I in the limo wearing
Yeah.
our little booby dresses.
You
We're
can see
wearing
your
us.
beam light reflected in the.
Oh, here we go. We're wearing our sexy dresses. Can you see it?
Yeah. That's when I could still fit into that. Okay.
And I have my little sash that says, what is it? Bachelorette bitch or something?
Maybe.
Something like that with my little tiara.
Yeah. And we all went to the Chippendales.
And we went, and yes, this young guy, I remember he was in his 20s, I
He was
think.
good looking too.
The guy,
Very, very nice looking.
he was honey.
And that was like a few
My
years ago.
husband's not here, so I can say it. Yeah, had long, I remember he had very long hair. Is that the guy?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
Like this tight.
He
tight
brought me up on, tight. Yes, he did have a tight tush. And he brought me up on stage. And after the show, he waited for me.
Yeah.
I remember at the front door asking me to go home with him.
You didn't though.
And you know what I said to him? I said, you could be my son.
Well, I thought it was after
God
you
damn
were
it, why didn't I go?
But yeah, I was just watching a movie with Shirley
I think
MacLaine
it's
and Jessica Lange, and Jessica Lange was
Steel Magnolias.
They're older, and
No, that wasn't Steel Magnolias. What am I thinking?
I just sent my mom a note saying she should watch it. It was adorable. I was getting my nails done, and I saw it. It was done a few years
I
ago.
love both of them. I love both of them.
But this was this cute. Like they were playing this older ladies, and Shirley MacLaine.
Wild Oats.
Wild Oats, that's right. And Shirley MacLaine's husband dies, and Jessica Lange ends up sleeping, and it's a great sex scene with her and this guy who could be her son. And the guy throws his back out because they have such acrobatic sex or whatever.
Oh my God! Now I'm sorry I didn't go home with that guy.
No, it was Jessica Lange that was the good one in bed, not he.
Well, I would have been. Well, that's
they
why
had a whole
I could.
Conversation about Mrs. Robinson.
Well, I could have taught him some stuff.
Exactly.
There you go.
And you could think of that as a challenge, right? To educate a young man on the art and skill of lovemaking so that some lucky woman his age can benefit at some point.
This is a whole new business for me.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I get now I get all the Altacocas asking me, flirting with me. It used to be the young hotties.
Yeah.
Although I did get hit on. I got hit on at the gym right before COVID hit by a 38-year-old Tom Cruise lookalike. It was great for my ego. But we have good husbands. Aren't we lucky? We're so lucky.
Well, yeah. And you've got a wonderful husband too.
Thank you. Yes, he is wonderful. We have real menschy husbands. For all of you that don't know what menschy is, it's a Yiddish word for a really good, nice
guy.
Person. Nice guy.
Big
or
heart,
or
big
girl
heart,
or girl.
Big heart. It's funny. I think what's the key to a successful marriage is that they always say that one person has to love the other person more. They're in a relationship. One person will always love the other person more, and it's better to have the guy love you more. I think.
And is that what you're saying you have, or you're saying I have that? Who has that?
Well, I'm pleading the fifth because my husband will kill me if he thinks I don't love him. But no, no. But I
think we both have that.
Well, I think that both of our husbands hold us up on an altar, and worship us.
I think they put us on a pedestal, don't you?
They do.
But we adore our husbands. I mean, we give back what,
Sometimes they want to sacrifice us on that altar, but
that's something we don't have to talk about,
yeah, exactly.
especially when we go into restaurants.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Chris was had to get used to that, So.
Well, when we come visit you in the desert, we have to go to that Mexican restaurant so we could
and the margaritas were great.
Hopefully get the same waitress.
Chris went to bed at 9 afterwards not because we were, getting busy, but because there was a potent drink. But they were. In fact, I'm feeling like going to celebrate.
I think I need one.
So
You know what? I need a margarita. I'm
Yeah.
in the mood for a margarita.
And
When
it
are
came
we?
with beautiful glasses, those really nice.
Oh, stop. Oh my God. Okay.
Well,
We're coming to see you. Okay. We're coming to visit next week.
let's do a girl trip because I had said that I want to do that, and Chris is going to stay home doing I don't know what. But
We could do a girl trip.
Just for a weekend.
Are there any male strip clubs nearby?
I didn't look into that yet. I'm sure there must be. There's a lot of older ladies here that are vibrant.
Okay. Well, I think we should have a girls' night. I love you.
Love you too.
I love you so
for having
much.
me on your show, and I'm so proud of you.
You're and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm so grateful to have you in my life.
Likewise. Well,
and I'll talk to you later, honey.
All right.
God bless. Mwah. Bye, honey.
Bye.
I want to thank Roma Roth for being my guest today, and I want to thank my producer, Alan Tuzinski of Pretty Easy Podcasts, my writer, Adam Labarkin, and my composer, Jeff Urban. Thank you all for leaning in with me today, and until next time, leaning out. Ouch. Ouch.
Lean in, Lisa, put her to the test. Lean in, Lisa, so get it off your chest. It's more than just a trend, 'cause everyone's her friend. So lean in with Lisa, spend your time with Lisa. Lisa's got something to say. So reach out to Lisa every day.